Hello friends, it's Kristie Marcotte. In today's video, I'll be sharing a few cards using new washi tape from the Washi tape shop. The Washi tape shop recently sent me some new PET tape and washi tape, and currently they're having a big summer sale. With the code SUMMER, you'll save 18% site-wide, and the sale goes through July 5th, 2024. Here's a look at all of the new tapes I've received, and I'll go through each of them so you can see the gorgeous designs. Most of the tapes I received are the PET tape. It's clear and it has a super shiny finish. And I know many of the designs are available in both the PET style and the washi tape style. So if you prefer one over the other, you do have that option. This first style is called Lily of the Valley, and once I unrolled it, I realized there's text on here. So I'll grab a piece of white cardstock so you can see the design a little bit better. Now this is all one piece. You would need to cut out all those individual designs. I love the addition of all the tiny little bows. You could add it at the bottom of your floral bouquet. The next design is Ivory Garden, and this is another PET tape. It's another beautiful floral design, ivory flowers, and lovely green foliage. Let me unroll this so you can see all the different designs. This is another style where you could cut apart those separate floral images, or you could leave them all together and run a band of it across your card or scrapbook page. And I'm just showing you a quick peek at the different designs. I believe they start to repeat at about 100 centimeters. So a little over a yard. This next roll is called Blush Wide Iridescent PET tape. And it almost has a slightly embossed detail on it with that beautiful iridescent finish. It's a very pretty design. It's not showing up very well against the white cardstock, so I will set that aside. Now you can see that beautiful color against my gray workspace mat. And when the light catches it just right, you can see that lovely iridescent finish. I will be using this roll on a card later on in the video. Next up, we have another PET tape. This one's called Oceanic Breeze. Gorgeous blue and teal flowers with lovely green foliage. Let me unroll it so you can see some of the lovely designs. There's a nice variety of different floral sizes. There are a few wreaths, there's larger bouquets, and then a few small floral pieces. So you can fussy cut those images out, or you could use it as a strip across your card. This next roll is one of my favorites. It's called Dreamy Merlot, and it's PET tape. I think the colors are just gorgeous, perfect for some summertime cards. There's a mix of soft pink, ivory flowers, and then some of those striking Merlot colored flowers. Plus there are some butterflies mixed in with some of the floral designs. Not sure if you can really see it any better on the white cardstock, but I did show you both. This is another roll I'll be using on a card later on in the video. The next roll is another beautiful floral design. It's called Perfumed Reveries. This is a PET tape. This roll has a fun mix of different florals. There are bouquets and then some florals in different baskets. There are also several watercolor circle images. I think the images would be perfect on cards, and they look fairly easy to fussy cut out. I know many people also use washi tape in their planners and journals. The next set is another favorite of mine. This one's called Baroque Lace PET tape. There are 5 different rolls in this set. Now, unlike the PET tape, this doesn't have any backing on it, so it's more like washi tape. You unroll it and it's already sticky on one side. There's white lace, black, brown, a dusty rose, and green. And I'll grab that piece of white paper so you can see the gorgeous designs. And I believe all 5 of them have a different lace design. So there's the green. Here's the dusty rose color. Just trying to find the end. And the dusty rose is the widest of the 5 rolls. And here you can see that that one side is already sticky. I accidentally touched it to my cardstock. I'm trying to be more careful with the other 3 colors since I don't want to waste any more of this beautiful tape. Here's a look at the lovely brown. Now we have the black. And then the final design is the white lace. And I'll grab a piece of black cardstock so you can see that lovely white design. This is a really fun set. I love the beautiful lace detail, and I will be using this on a card later on in the video. I did receive 1 set of washi tape, so I'll open that one up. This set is called Floral Lane, and it is washi tape. There are several different widths of washi tape included in the set. I think it's 6 or 7 of them have a floral or other design. Looks like there's 7. And then there's a bunch of very narrow solids. Some of the rolls are simply one color and others have a split of 2 different colors. I'll show the 7 different floral designs. And for a better look, you can always head to the Washi Tape Shop's website. They have beautiful images there. This roll has the white backing, there's birdhouses, florals, little houses on it. Here's one with a pink backing with lots of florals. This one's my favorite, has a white background and beautiful yellow flowers. Then another white background with pink flowers. This one has a teal background, it looks like books, flowers, maybe a cup of tea or coffee. And this last roll has a very soft pink background and lots of beautiful flowers. And I'll open up just one of the narrow solids. This is a pretty blue color. Just trying to find the end of it. And this roll is maybe 1/8 of an inch wide. Some of the solids are a little bit wider. You can see you get quite a few of the narrow solids in this set. And I do have one more PET tape roll to show you. It had rolled away from all of the others, so I missed it when I was recording that first set. This is another favorite of mine, and I will be using it in the video. It's called Countrywide Escapade. And I think this design is perfect for cards. We have large, beautiful scenery images that are easy to cut apart. And you can feature those on your card, add a sentiment, and you're finished. I believe there are 11 different images. If you are interested in purchasing any of the tapes I show in this video, I do have links in the description box below. I also have a few cards to share with you. So let's go ahead and get started with card design number 1. For this first card, I'm using the Blush Wide Iridescent PET tape, and I'm adhering it on some Ivory cardstock. This cardstock has a smooth side and also a linen texture finish. I'm adding the PET tape on the smooth side, and I did cut it a little bit wider than the cardstock panel. That way I can wrap the end around the back. For the background of my card, using the same Ivory cardstock, but this time I have the linen texture finish showing. I'll add a strip of the brown lace washi tape on the very left side of the card, and I am cutting that piece just a little bit wider than the panel. I'll wrap the ends around the back. Then I'll add that floral panel on the left side, and I am covering up a little bit of that lace design. I'll put adhesive on the back, layer this piece on some brown cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base. All of my cards in this video are American Standard A2 size, 4¼ inches by 5½ inches. For a sentiment, I'm adding the word hugs, and this is a die from Pretty Pink Posh. It includes the word and also the shadow. I use the same brown cardstock for the shadow and a dusty pink colored cardstock for the sentiment. I'll put glue on the back of the word hugs and adhere the two pieces together, and I'm using Barely Art glue. Now I'll flip over the sentiment and put thin foam dimension on the back. Since the sentiment is fairly narrow in many areas, I will need to cut the foam squares in half so I can fit them behind. I'll make sure to get good coverage so there isn't one area that sags. Add just one more little piece on the end here. Now remove the release paper and add the sentiment between the two large floral images. There's that slight gap between those two. With the light hitting the image, you can really see some of that iridescent finish. For our final finishing touch, I'm adding some ivory pearls. These are from Studio Katia. It's their vintage shimmer pearls, and I don't believe they're available any longer. I'll pour a small amount in a wooden bowl. Makes it easier to select the different sizes. I'll add a small drop of Barely Art glue. Pick up the pearl using scrapbook.com's Craft Pro Pick tool, then press them in place. I'm putting 3 pearls in the upper right-hand corner and 2 underneath the sentiment on the left side. And I wasn't sure how well Barely Art glue would hold those pearls on that slick finish of the PET tape, so I am testing the card that I made the previous day. One of the pearls would move slightly, but it wasn't popping off. So I think as long as nothing sharp goes underneath them, they will stay in place. Now moving on to card design number 2. The pattern paper is from Honeybee Stamps. It's their Textiles and Texture Vintage Paper Pad. I selected 2 of the designs. This first strip has a linen texture finish on it in a light cream color, and I'm adding a strip of the Dreamy Merlot PET tape. And you may have noticed I did not get that tape down smoothly. I was able to peel it up and it did rip the paper just slightly, but I'm not worried about it because I'll actually be cutting off that very end. Now I'll layer this piece on some of the pattern paper that has the look of burlap. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add it on some tone-on-tone gingham pattern paper. And I'm adhering it at a slight angle. I made sure to place it down so that ripped end would go off the edge of that panel. Now I'll flip it over, use my scissors, and trim it off, so it will be flush on the right and left side of the card. Next I'll add some of the narrow green washi tape, and this is almost the same green color as that background paper. It'll add just a tiny subtle detail along the edge of the burlap paper. I'll wrap the end around the back, then layer this piece on some green cardstock, put ATG tape on the back, and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. For a sentiment, I'll be adding the word thanks, and this is from scrapbook.com's Thank You Set Number 2 word dies. I cut out 2 of the shadows, one from some off-white cardstock and the other from gold mirror cardstock. For the word, I'm using some red cardstock. I was trying to match some of that deep Merlot color of the flowers. I'll first attach the word on that off-white layer. Then I'll adhere that piece on the gold mirror shadow. And I'm offsetting them slightly so you can see some of that lovely gold mirror underneath. I will pop up the sentiment using some thin foam dimension. Make sure to get good coverage. Then I'll remove the release paper, adhere the sentiment in the lower right-hand corner. And I'm trying to place it so I'm not covering up that beautiful butterfly on the very right side. For a final finishing touch, I'll use more of the vintage shimmer pearls. Put 3 of them in the upper left-hand corner and 2 around the sentiment in the lower right-hand corner. I'm using a variety of different sizes of the pearls, and the smallest pearl kept flipping upside down, so it was harder to pick it up. So there is my finished card, and I did make 2 using this design. I really like the look of the beautiful flowers on this PET tape. So pretty. Now moving on to card design number 3. I will be using a card sketch for inspiration. This is from Cards TV. It's sketch number 11. Now the sketch is designed as a vertical card, but I'll be making a horizontal card. So I am altering it just a little bit. I'm using some tone-on-tone yellow gingham paper for the background, layering it on some green cardstock. I'm using that same green cardstock layer for those 2 triangles in the upper left and lower right-hand corner. I'll put ATG tape on the back and add my card front onto a card base, leaving 1/8 of an inch of the white card base showing. I selected one of the beautiful countryside images. You have the red barn, some cows heading toward the barn. I'll add that image on some white pearlescent cardstock, so it'll have that little bit of shimmer around it. I will be popping up the image using some foam dimension. This time I'm using scrapbook.com's 1/4 inch foam in the 1mm thickness. I'll put 1 strip around the outside edge and also add a few in the center. Then I'll remove the release paper and add the image in the center of the card. For a sentiment, I'm adding Just Saying Hello, and this is from Pretty Pink Posh's Simple Sentiment stamp set. I cut it out using Pretty Pink Posh's Simple Sentiments die set. I'll be adding the sentiment in the lower right-hand corner of the washi tape image. The very right side of the sentiment will go off of that image panel. I'll first add a scrap piece of cardstock on the very right side, and I already have some double-sided adhesive tape behind the rest of the sentiment. Then I'll add just a tiny bit of foam on the right side. Remove the release paper, and even though I do have double-sided adhesive tape, I'll also add just a tiny bit of glue. For a little extra detail, I did add a scrap piece of the pattern paper on the inside of the card. For embellishments, I'm using Love from Lizzie peel-offs. This is the mini circle style in the gold mirror color. So there is my finished card, and this time I made 4. I figured I would do 1 card for each season. So we have a summer, and a beautiful fall image. Then we move on to a lovely winter card, and finally finish with spring, beautiful pink trees, and a train. I decided to use the same design and the same sentiment for all 4 seasons. Now here's another look at the 8 cards I made using some new PET and washi tape from the Washi tape shop. If you are interested in any of the products I used in this video, I do have links in the description box below. If I didn't list a product, it may not be available any longer. The Washi tape shop is currently having their summer sale. You can save 18% by using the code SUMMER, and the sale goes through July 5th, 2024. If you're watching this video after the sale has finished, you can still save 10% by using my code KristieM10. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.